Okay, in this example, we're going to solve the system by substitution. Step 1, recall, is to look for a variable term that has a coefficient of 1 or -1. Notice in equation number 1, it would be the x. In equation number 2, it would be the y, so it does not matter which one you decide. You will just need to solve one of them for that variable. In other words, solve for x or solve for y. I'm going to go ahead, for the purpose of this particular video, solve this one for x, but you could have certainly solved it for y. So proceeding with solving it for x, we need to get x by itself, everybody else on the other side using the rules of equation. So what will be the first step to getting x by itself? If you said add 3y to each side, then that is correct. So now that we have solved for x, we call this our third equation. We took this from equation number 1, so when we plug it in, we're going to plug it in into equation number 2 in x's place. So substitution method is about first solving for x or y in one of the variables and then plug it into the other equation. Let's go ahead and do that on the next page. So taking one equation and plugging it into the other, we need to solve that equation. To do that, we've got to do the distributive property. That's 2 times 3y, and then 2 times -5. Bring everything else down. Next, I want to combine like terms while they're on the same side. 6y plus 1y equals 7y. What's my next step to solving this equation? That's correct. Add 10 to each side. Divide by 7. And y equals, you got it, 3. So our y value is 3. How do we find our x value? Well, you're going to plug your y value into either of the 3 equations. I think it is always easiest to plug it into equation number 3 since it is already solved for that variable that you want. So I'm going to do that on the next page. So into equation number 3, we're going to remove the y and replace it with 3. Once we do the math, we'll have our x value. 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 take away 5 is 4. So our solution order pair then would be 4, 3. Now that last step, step 5, is optional. And that's just simply checking your answer by plugging the solution back into both equations to see if it is indeed a solution. So when you plug in a 4 for x and a 3 for y into both equations, if it leaves you with a true statement where both sides are the same, then that is your proof that it is indeed your solution. So we see here that yes, our solution is 4, 3.